Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And we see them. And today we got a pretty fun show for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today we're going to be talking a little bit about Russell Westbrook. Now, as y'all know, it's been a very, very difficult playoffs for me because Kawhi Leonard got injured in Game 1, apparently missed Game 3, Game 4. And ultimately Game 5, and yesterday the Clippers got eliminated by the Phoenix Suns. I was just so disgusted, man. Just you know why I was disgusted, because I knew even if they won that game, they weren't going to be able to make a real playoff run. And it was just eating me up. Like, I was just so disappointed at the turn of events. So at the end of that, obviously that game was being covered by TNT. At the end of that, the crew weighed in on Russell Westbrook, the team, and everything. But when it got to the point for Charles Barkley to kind of give his synopsis on what he believes the Clippers should do moving forward, he says something pretty interesting in terms of a recommendation that he made, that he suggested the Clippers take. But before we get into his comments, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we're going to play exactly what Charles Barkley had to say here. Then we're going to play some of the comments that Ty Lue had to say. And ultimately, we're going to play a little bit of what Russell Westbrook had to say. So take a listen to that here, and then we'll come back and react to this thing. So take a listen to that.
Anyway, the Clippers lost, and so they are out. And obviously the whole scenario with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard being unavailable in this series for the most part with Kawhi. Top 6 scorers are signed for next season.
Re-sign Russell Westbrook will be my first priority.
Here was Ty Lue after tonight's loss.
Ty, beyond the injuries, what sticks with you about the way this season didn't live up to your guys' high expectations?
What else could be? I mean, yeah, our 2 best players got hurt. I mean, would you take Steph and Clay off of Golden State? Take Booker and KD off this team. Greek Freak was out 2 games. He's the best, So just, take your 2 best players off any team in the league and see if they can win in the playoffs. I guess a team that's picked to win it, So no letdowns. Like I said, I'm proud of every guy in that locker room. Scrap and compete every night, and that's all you can ask for, when you're shorthanded. And so, you take the 2 best players off anybody's team, they're not going to win. I don't care, how you look at it. They're not going to do it, And so, but that doesn't mean you can't compete and fight and play hard and play the right way every single night. And like I said, I really thank our guys for doing that every single night, even in tough situations, we had to go through. And, bringing Russ here, really, really saved our season as far as making the playoffs and having this run that we had in the playoffs. He really saved us. And so, hats off to Russ, for bringing it every single night.
It's been a roller coaster, mentally, emotionally, for me, and not just me, but for my family, for my close ones, even for my kids. Man, it's a lot of emotions for me, honestly. So I'm just grateful to be able to be sitting here and being able to finish the season. And one thing I do tell you is that I love it here. I love the people. just the fans overall, just the embracement of not just me, but my family and close friends, and just the ability to be able to go out and compete. I know it was end of the year and a lot of different things happened, but I'm grateful, and I definitely love being here. As far as making a decision, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Don't really know my process because it's kind of my first time doing this. But
So you heard what Charles had to say. You heard what Ty Lue had to say. You heard what Russell Westbrook had to say. First of all, I think Charles Barkley is 100% on the money. The Clippers have to sign Russell Westbrook, and it's a no-brainer. Number two, I agree with what Ty Lue said. You miss your best players, you go see how easy it is to win games when your two of your best players are gone, or your two best players are gone. And number three, I agree with what Russell Westbrook said in terms of him really feeling like home, feeling at home there, him really liking the place. You can tell that the Clippers embraced him with open arms the moment he decided to join that team, and it was evident. And you can see it in his play. You can see that Ty Lue was able to bring the best out of him. And the first thing that I believe that he did that really worked in the favor of Russell Westbrook was making him the starting point guard. Now, during the regular season, there were games where he would start, not finish, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when it got to the playoffs, he said, you know what, we're going to go with you. We're going to go with the top 75 guy, the Hall of Famer. We're not going to disrespect you that way, and we're going to let you play. And had Ty Lue not made that decision, they definitely would not have won game one. They definitely would not have been competitive in game 2, game 3, or game 4. Had he not made that decision to trust Russell Westbrook. You take the good with the bad, and that's just pretty much life. Everything has its pros and its cons. And Ty Lue just rolled the dice, and it worked out, and you can hear what he said. Now, here's what Russell Westbrook actually averaged for the Clippers while he played with them in 21 games. He averaged 15.8 points per game, 7.6 assists, 4.9 rebounds in 21 games for the Clippers on 48.9% shooting from the field. He shot 35.6% from the three-point line and 65.8% from the free throw line. All of these figures are up with the Clippers versus his time with the Lakers. If we look at his numbers in the playoffs, Russell Westbrook in 5 games scored 23.6 points a game on 41% field goal shooting. He shot 35.7% from the field. That's about 10 percentage points higher than the last time he was in the playoffs. He shot 88% from the free throw line, got you 7.6 rebounds, 7.4 assists, 4 turnovers, with 1.2 steals and 1.4 blocks. Now, here's why I think the Clippers should re-sign Russell Westbrook, and it's a no-brainer. Number one, he is their emotional leader. He fills in the role of Patrick Beverley, but the only difference is he's a much better basketball player. So therefore, he can rile these guys up, but also produce at a high level. He showed me something on the defensive side that I did not know he had, and that's a plus. That this guy was not going to be a defensive liability out there and actually guard bigger players like Kevin Durant and others. So from that standpoint, it's a no-brainer. Also, how much you're going to pay for him? I think Russell Westbrook now is the veteran minimum. I think maybe making $3 to $6 million. So you're getting him on the cheap. That's another reason you should sign him. Number 4, because he's an insurance policy for when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are going to miss games. Because Russell Westbrook is going to play between 75 to 78 games every single season because he's very, very durable. That's another reason you should have him out there, because he's going to help you win a lot of games. And also, I believe what he brings to the team in terms of his experience. So to me, I think it's a no-brainer. He helps them with their pace. A lot of easy buckets. He gets them a lot of easy buckets in transition just by his ability to put pressure on the defense to attack in transition. So to me, I think it's a no-brainer. I don't think Charles Barkley is saying something miraculous. I think the only person out there that will tell the Clippers to go otherwise is maybe Skip Bayless and maybe 1 or 2 people, because I don't see why the Clippers would not try to re-sign him if they have an opportunity. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about my analysis? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show.